This is the final word as I take a look at what Eddie had to say after the match. Overall, we lost 3-1 on the night and 5-1 over the aggregate of the two matches. I'm Ken and this is Inside the Toon. There's a bit to get through here as Eddie gave a long interview after the match to Sky Sports. Obviously, he came out and said he was disappointed. It wasn't the start we wanted. Dan had gone to clear the ball and it had gone off their attacker and gone in. And that summed up the start of the game in the first half for me as well. So in both games, if you look back, he said, we're very frustrated. We only scored one goal in two games. We don't feel we should have lost the first leg 2-0 on the balance of opportunities created. The last thing you want to do is to chase a game, and that's pretty much what we did in the first half. Eddie said he was really annoyed with the first half display because we pride ourselves on being really organised, and tactically we wanted to be able to handle any problems the opposition gave us. But he did go on to say, I just don't think we were good enough. Our duels were off. That gave us huge problems. We didn't defend well at all. We're still fighting on several fronts, he said, is a sort of rally cry. So the season's not over. The games are still coming thick and fast, Eddie added. It is painful, and I totally agree with him. I think every other Newcastle supporter at the moment would say it's painful. Going out in the semi-final, we so enjoyed last season. Eddie said the ride was wonderful. He said we are finding it difficult at the moment, having just played Paris, Liverpool, and now Manchester City away. Tough schedule for any team to face. There are no excuses, he said. It's just the reality. We're missing some really big players, and I think you could feel that from their performance tonight. Eddie trying to explain and analyse why our away form is so poor at the moment in 2025. He said last year we went to several grounds and went into the games really believing that we could win. The team has been knocked in recent weeks. We lost some big players. And we've been in the games throughout these games. Especially in the last two, he felt. It's hard to... We have played well. This is my thought. We have played well at times in the last two games. It's just we've not played well for long enough. And our defending, 4 against Liverpool, and now 3 against Man City in this game, we're leaking goals. However, to this, and this is my thought, is that we, the back four picking itself because of the injuries. The midfield is picking itself because of the injuries. We've now lost Gordon, who won't due to a hamstring. So again, all of a sudden, the wingers pick themselves to a large extent. The only real option or decision that Eddie has now, until players start to return, is whether he plays Big Nick or Visser up front, because we really don't play 4-4-2 at all, or 4-4-1-1 with Big Nick behind Visser. It's just not an option at the moment. So Eddie finished off by concluding that we haven't defended well enough and we haven't taken a lot of the chances that we've created. So we still believe that we're a good team. We just need to protect confidence levels at all costs, and that's now his first thought. My brother and nephew were both at the match last night, and afterwards, in an exchange of messages with him as he travelled back home in the early hours of the morning, he summed it up pretty well for me. It was a fluke goal for them early on, the Dan Burn deflection, which Eddie confirmed in his thoughts as well. My brother said Willock and Gordon must score the one-on-ones that they had. Second half, Visser should have scored early on. Ilanga scored a great goal, but could have easily had a hat-trick. Looked like we had 2 decent penalty shouts denied. The handball, which I agree with, and the Visser foul, maybe. That's my thought. The support was immense throughout, he said, and you could tell that from the television if you had the sound slightly up, even if you were listening to, say, the Toon review in their commentary. So I think pretty good summary from my brother there. Obviously disappointed. He went with hope, but not expectation. The journalists had their say straight after the match last night, and these are some of the thumbnails, along with the YouTubers from the fans' channels. So the journalist talked about reality. Craig Hope said it was an insult to injury, especially with Pep trying to tap up Tonali after the match. That really needs to be looked at going forward. And obviously Gordon's injury. Paul at the Toon review called it a shambles. I listened to most of their commentary, and Billy and Alex were extremely frustrated and very vocal throughout their commentary last night. Adam P really wasn't happy. He's been to all these matches away this year, and he's struggling to handle it. Having watched Newcastle from the mid-60s through the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. The 90s were great. 2000s up to Bobby Robson until he was hounded out was good. And then we had the likes of Souness and Dennis Wise, Joe Kinnear, and then Steve Bruce. So Eddie Howe, in my mind, is a very, very good manager, and one that I would like to see out the season at least, and beyond. But other people have opinions the opposite, and that's fine. However, I've seen some really bad managers at Newcastle. Gordon Lee, for example, stripped the team of all the talent, had a very workmanlike team. We did get to a final. I'll give him credit for that. However, we lost our entertainers in those days that we had. Anyhow, that's my little rant over with. As usual, it's on to the next match, and it's going to be Brentford away. And we're going to put out a team that pretty much picks itself, because there's nothing coming through from the under-21s at the moment that Eddie and the staff think are worth trying out. And we can't try out. We want to get into Europe, even if it's the conference. We still need to be in Europe next season. So thank you for watching. That concludes the match series against Manchester City in the second leg of the Carabao semi-final. Disappointingly, we lost. Next up is Brentford on Saturday, 5:30 kickoff, and let's hope we can pull a performance out of the bag at home. Away the lads.